What, Frank? We can't not tell them. They have to know the truth. We can't just live in this fantasy world forever. I know that. Is it rolling? What's going on, sports card hobby family? How the heck are we doing? Hopefully it is an amazing weekend for you. Today we're going to talk about what could potentially be a controversial topic, although to me it just feels like common sense. Before we dive in, thank you to today's video sponsor, Hake's Auctions. They've got a monstrous auction coming up in November. Some really cool stuff that they're working up, whether it be sports cards, non-sports cards, comic books, graded action figures. All the things are going to be on Hake's Auctions coming up here in November, so definitely check out the website and we will keep you posted as we get closer. All right, so we have the big debate in the hobby. Are you a collector, investor? It's so tired and so annoying, frankly. It's just so lame, honestly, because really, vast majority of us, whether we want to admit it or not admit it, is really kind of irrelevant because it's just a truth, is we're some sort of hybrid of these things. Collector, investor, speculator, hoarder, all these little things. We are, 8% this. We're all mutts in the hobby. We're 8% this one, 9% that, 20% this. That's just the truth. And then there are some people, yes, there are some people that, really veer one way or the other way. They only flip cards 100% of the time, or they only hold cards 100% of the time. But you know who is always an investor? But even if you are a hardcore collector, I'll never sell a card in my entire life. You know who is an investor? Your wife, your husband, your family. Simple, right? Because here's the deal. Here's the deal. We're all going to hold everything forever. But you know what? Forever always ends the same way.
You're my boy, Blue! You're my boy.
Death. And granted, some of the stuff is going to be held. Your family might hold particular things that, Dad really liked this and I want to hold on to it. I want to keep that. But 80, 90, 95%, sometimes 100% is going to get liquidated. All right, so that really makes your estate an investor. So right now, obviously, we are living. This is our living estate, and whatever, we can kind of do our thing. But the second that's not the case, all of a sudden, it changes very quickly. And so our family, our estate, they are moving off this stuff. When I was at the Philly Card Show, this last Philly Card Show going back about 6 months, 7 months, I was asking a vintage dealer, how do you always have such good supply? Like, how do you maintain all these cool vintage cards? It just feels like this particular dealer, I've seen them at the National, seen them in different spots, always have really strong vintage cards. And he just flat out said, hey, look, people pass away, collections get sold. They get passed down. I get a call, hey, I've got this collection. Are you interested? And that's how this stuff moves around. All of these vintage cards, and I know you could say the same about modern cards as well, because it will get to that point as well where you've got a lot of the modern stuff. But right now, a lot of the 70, 80, 90-year-old, 100-year-old people, if they are card collectors, they've got really nice vintage card collections. And so all that stuff is then recycled back in to the ecosystem. You might be thinking, I don't have a wife or I don't have a husband. I'm single, I'm free. Well, you know what that means. That crazy long-lost nephew, Rick, he's going to come out of the swamp for probate court. He's going to be ready to go. As soon as that probate court opens, he is going to be like, oh man, I cannot believe that Uncle Blobberly Blue left all of this stuff for me to get my grubby little hands on. All right, maybe you don't have a nephew. Maybe you don't have a crazy nephew that will come out of the woodwork at probate court. Do you have a dog? If you can believe this, Gunther VI, a lucky German shepherd, inherited a few hundred million when Countess Carlotta Liebenstein passed away with no children or close family and left her entire inheritance to her dog. So your dog might be saddled with this. Oh, no dog? Well, guess what? And nobody will be shocked by this. The government will be happy to take your stuff and liquidate it themselves. If there's nobody there, there's no one to take the estate, at some point, the government absorbs it. I love it. They absorb it. It just goes into the abyss of the government. So there you have it, guys. You might be a collector. You might be the most hardcore collector on earth. But eventually, your estate, the people left behind, the investors, if you will, they're going to go liquidate. They're going to go get money for this stuff. All right, friends, have an amazing rest of your weekend. DPZ has an interview with Dan the Card Man coming out tomorrow afternoon, evening-ish is when I should have that one out. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.